Hello guys, welcome back to another video. This is your performance management tutor, Sir Uzair Awan, and this video is a continuation of the chapter CVP analysis. Now in the previous videos, we have discussed the concept of break-even, how to calculate break-even in terms of units, in terms of revenue, right? We discussed about target profit, the concept behind target profit, how to calculate target profit in terms of revenue and units, right? And then we discuss about different charts, how to draw break-even chart, how to draw contribution chart, and how to draw profit to volume chart, right? So we have already discussed all of these in our previous videos. If you have not watched those, then I will recommend you guys to go and watch those first and then come back to this video so that you can get a good grip on this chapter, okay? Now our area of discussion for today is basically CVP analysis for multi-products. Now, when we talk about CVP can be for single product also, and it can be for multi-products also, okay? So far, whatever we discussed in our previous videos was related to the single product. Now, we are going to discuss CVP analysis for multi-product. And for that, let's go to our study hub. Okay, so as you can see over here, it says CVP analysis can be extended to multi-product situations, right? If a constant predetermined sale mix is applied. So this is the assumption that you use in the multi-product situation, that there is a constant predetermined sale mix. So that means, let's say for example that I am the owner of a bakery, right? And let's say for every one cake that I sell 4 muffins, right? So that is my sale mix, that I sell 1 cake and 4 muffins, right? Now, if this sales mix is constant, that means every time I sell 1 cake and 4 muffins, right? Then you can apply the CVP analysis for your multi-product, okay? But if I, for example, sell in a non-constant manner, for example, I sell 1 cake and 5 muffins, right? Or I sell 2 cakes and 3 muffins, right? So every time my sales mix is changing, in that case, there would be no unique break-even point, right? And if you think about it, this makes sense, right? Because if you don't have a standard mix, how can you actually, calculate the break-even point, right? Because you won't have a proper standard mix to do your workings on, right? So therefore, in this CVP analysis for multi-product situation, we'll be assuming that whatever has been given to us is being sold in a constant mix. Is that clear? So this can come in the MCQs, that they can ask you what is the assumption that is used in CVP analysis for multi-product situation. So the assumption is that we are selling at a constant predetermined sale mix. Okay, so this is very important before starting the area. So now the area is CVP analysis for multi-product, and like I said, that CVP can be for single product, it can be for multi-product. For single product, we have learned everything in our previous video. Now in this video, we'll be starting with multi-product. Okay, so now we are going to look at the formulas first. This video would be about formulas, that what formulas can we use for multi-product, right? And how are they any different from what we have learned before for single products. Okay, so now let's start with the very first. So we have the first very formula of break-even units, right? Let's start with the break-even. So if you have to calculate break-even for each product, now remember, in this scenario, we are discussing about multi-product. So that means you'll have more than one product, right? For example, you will have product A, right? You'll have product B, product C, right? So a company would be making more than one product, A, B, or C, right? So if I have to calculate break-even units for each product in this scenario, what will I do? How would the formulas change? What was the formula for single product? The formula was total fixed cost divided by contribution per unit, right? This was the formula. Okay, so far the formula is same that what we have learned for the single product, right? Total fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. But the only difference would be that over here you are going to multiply it with the budgeted sales unit of that period. Okay, you are going to multiply it with the budgeted sales units for that period. Okay, so total fixed cost divided by contribution per unit into budgeted sales unit for that period. Got it? That's how you'll be calculating your break-even units for each product in case of multi-product, where you'll be having more than one product. Okay, and it's not necessary that the examiner will tell you in the question that this is multi-product. No, you will have to look at the question. If they're talking about more than one product, then obviously it's a multi-product question and you'll be applying these formulas. But if they are talking about only one product in the entire question, then that means it's a single product, and therefore you will be applying the formulas that we have learned in the previous videos. Okay, now the second formula that we have is break even in terms of revenue, and this is also for each product. So if you have to calculate the break even revenue for each product, you can do that by taking the break even units that we calculated in the first part and through the first formula right over here, and you are going to multiply it with selling price per unit of that product. Selling price per unit of that product. That's it. Okay, so you can see that the formula is same just like what we have learned in the single product, that you just take the break-even units and you times it by the selling price per unit. But the problem is that the break-even unit formula is different, because over here you're multiplying budgeted sales unit for that period also, which was not the case in the single product, right? So now the third formula that we have is break-even revenue in total, right? That what if I need the break-even revenue in total? What if I need the break-even revenue in total? In total means all the products. What if I need the break-even revenue in total for all the product, not just one? This formula gives you for each product, right? See, I have written it over here also that it's for each product. But what if you need for total? For total, we are going to apply this formula, the one that I'm writing it over here, and that is you're going to take your total fixed cost. You are going to take your total fixed cost. You are going to divide it by the total CS ratio. The total CS ratio of all products. Got it? You're going to divide it by total CS ratio of all product. Okay, now we need to have a little discussion on this total CS ratio. Now you would remember from our previous video that we used to divide total fixed cost with CS ratio, right? But in that CS ratio, what we used to do was that we used to take the contribution per unit and divide it by sales per unit, correct? And that's how we used to get our CS ratio, right? And the other way that I taught you guys to calculate CS ratio was to take the total contribution, right? Total contribution of that product and divide it by total sales, right? So this is how we learned for single product. This is how we learned for single product, right? From our previous videos, if you remember, this is how we learned to calculate the CS ratio for single product, right? Now compare this with the total CS ratio that we'll be using over here for our multi-product scenario. It is not going to be like this. It is going to be the contribution, the total contribution of all products. Remember that, because now this is multi-product, right? So you are taking the total contribution of all products. So for example, if you have product A, you have product B, you have product C. So you are going to calculate the contribution of all the three products, okay? And then you are going to add them. That is going to be the total contribution of all product, okay? And then you will be dividing it by the total sales of all product, okay? So total sales of all product means that you're going to add the sales of A, B, and C, product A, B, and C, and you're going to divide it by the total contribution of all the products. That's how you're going to get your total CS ratio of all the product, total CS ratio of all the products. Is that clear? Okay. So you see, this is the difference. This is the difference. Now this one, the one that I've written on the left, this one and this one. Just compare these codes, right? Just compare these codes. The first one is for the single product and the second one that you see over here is for multi-product, right? Now remember the difference because this is very important. In the single product, you just used to take the contribution per unit of that product and divide it by sales per unit of that particular product. That was given to you in the question, right? Or you used to take total contribution and divide it by total sales of that product to get the CS ratio. But when it comes to multi-product where you have more than one product like product A, B, and C, you have to take the total contribution of all these three products and divide it by total sales of all these three products. That's how you get your total CS ratio. And when you are dealing with multi-product scenario, in order to calculate the break-even revenue in total, which means of all the product, you need to divide it by the total CS ratio, which is calculated by this method. Is this clear? Do you see the difference? Do you understand the difference between single product and multi-product, right? I'm just trying to take some time and connect this with the previous lectures that we have studied regarding the single product, just so that you guys can have clarity of how things are different when we talk about single product and when we move to multi-product. Okay. Now, one more thing that I would like to show you guys over here is that now you can see over here in the study hub, they call the total CS ratio as the weighted average CS ratio. Do you see it over here? They call it the weighted average CS ratio. So you take the total contribution for all product and you divide it by total revenue for all product, right? So remember that weighted average CS ratio, right? So this total CS ratio can also be called as weighted average CS ratio. Okay. I'm informing you this so that if you see this word in the exam, you should not get confused. Rather, you should know this, that the total CS ratio is also called the weighted average CS ratio. Okay. So you divide total fixed cost with weighted average CS ratio or total CS ratio and you get your break-even revenue in total for all the products. Okay. So you see that this is the formulas for multi-product when it comes to break-even. Right? So the formula for break-even units is the same as what we learned for the single product, but the only difference is this part, that you have to multiply budgeted sales unit for that period over here, which you do not used to do in the single product. So this is the only difference, right? When it comes to break-even revenue for each product, the formula is the same, that you take the break-even units and you times it by the selling price per unit of that product. Okay. But when it comes to break-even revenue in total for all the products, then you take total fixed cost and divide it by total CS ratio of all the products. Okay. And the way to calculate total CS ratio for all the product is by taking the total contribution of all the products and dividing it by total sales of all the products. That's how you get your total CS ratio or your weighted average CS ratio. Okay. Both means the same thing. I hope this is clear. And now we can move on to our fourth formula, which would be regarding target profit. So if you have to calculate target profit over here, will it be the same way like we used to do for the single product? The answer is yes, and the answer is no. A little same, a little difference. You need to write down first the formula that you know for the single product, which was total fixed cost plus target profits. Remember, this was the formula that we used to use, right? So total fixed cost plus the target profit, total fixed cost plus the target profit, right? So far it's the same. And then we used to divide it by the CS ratio, the total CS ratio, remember? But now over here, what we are going to do, we are going to divide it by the total CS ratio, but obviously it is going to be for all products, right? this one, or you also call this the weighted average CS ratio. Okay. And then the new thing that comes over here is that you have to multiply it with budgeted sales. Yes, you have to multiply it with budgeted sales, right? So multiply this with budgeted sales. Multiply this with budgeted sales of that period. Got it? So you see this part about budgeted sales of that period is different, right? So that's how you calculate your target profit. Remember that target profit for multi-product is calculated by this formula, which is total fixed cost plus target profit divided by total CS ratio, or what we call the weighted average CS ratio, same thing, multiply by the budgeted sales of that period. Clear? Now the second formula is for target profit, but in terms of revenue. So target profit in terms of revenue, dollars, in terms of revenue, dollars, right? And this is for each product. If I have to calculate for each product individually in terms of revenue, how would I do that? I'm going to basically take the target profit. I am going to take the target profit in terms of units that I need to sell, right? Which I'm going to get from my first formula, right? And then I'm going to multiply this with the selling price per unit of that product. Okay, whichever product you're trying to calculate the target profit of, you're going to take the target profit in terms of units. That is what we are going to get from our first formula. And then you're going to multiply it by the selling price per unit of that product. Okay. And then if we have to calculate target profit in terms of revenue, but the total amount, which means in total for all the products, right? So for all the products. So if I have to calculate target profit in terms of revenue for all the products, how would I do that? Total fixed cost, right? Plus my target profit. Plus my target profit. Okay. And I'm going to divide it by the weighted average CS ratio or the total CS ratio for all the product. Okay. So I'm going to divide it by the total CS ratio for all the product. Total CS ratio for all the products, or what we call the weighted average CS ratio. Got it? So that's how you calculate your target profit in terms of revenue for all the products, right? So if all the products, you have to calculate the target profit in terms of revenue for all the products combined, you will be using this formula, right? But if you have to calculate the target profit in terms of revenue for each product, that can be product A, B, C, whatever is given to you in the question, then you're going to take the target profit in terms of units, which you will get from the first formula, right? And you're going to times it by the selling price. Okay, selling price of that product, whatever the product is. Okay, so these are the three formulas for target profit. I hope there is no problem in this. Let's move forward. Okay, moving forward. Now the next formula that we have is for margin of safety. So if we have to calculate the margin of safety in terms of units for the multi products, which means more than one product, right? So if you have to calculate the margin of safety in terms of units for each product, So if it is for each product, what are you going to do? You are going to basically take the budgeted sales units and subtract it by the break even. Simple, right? Budgeted sales unit of that product, whatever the product is they are trying to calculate the margin of safety of. For example, it can be product A, it can be product B, because this formula is for each product, right? Individual product. So if you have three products A, B and C given to you in the question and they ask you calculate the margin of safety for product A. So you're going to apply this formula because this is for each product. So you're going to take the budget sales unit of that product, for example, product A, right? And you're going to subtract from it the break even sales unit of that product. Okay. Is that clear? All right. And now the second formula is for margin of safety again, but this would be in terms of revenue, right? For each product. So if you have to calculate the margin of safety for each product in terms of revenue, how would you do that? You are going to take the margin of safety units that you calculate in the first part through the first formula, right? You're going to take those and you're going to times it by what? Times it by the selling price per unit. You're going to times it by the selling price per unit of that product. Okay. Selling price per unit of that product. Clear? Now the third formula is of calculating margin of safety in terms of percentage. So if you have to calculate the margin of safety in terms of percentage, you can just take the budgeted sale. It is going to be the same formula that we learned in the single product, right? Budgeted sales minus break-even sales, and you are going to divide it by the budgeted sales, right? And then times it by or multiply it by 100. So that is your margin of safety in terms of percentage. Okay, so guys, these are the formulas for margin of safety in terms of unit. If you have to calculate for each product, just take the budget sales of that product subtracted by the break-even sale of that product. If you have to calculate the margin of safety in terms of revenue for each product, you just take margin of safety units and times it by selling price per unit. And if you have to calculate in terms of percentage, then you just take the budgeted sales, subtract break-even sales from it and divide it by the budgeted sales and times it by 100. And that should be your answer. Okay. So guys, this is it for today's video, right? The objective of today's video was to explain you that CVB can not only be for single product, it can be for multi-product and it can be tested in your exam for multi-product scenarios. So therefore, you should first of all understand the assumption that we use for multi-product, number one. Number two, you should know all these formulas for multi-product, right? So you can see that these formulas are nothing new. These are the same that what we have learned in detail for the single product, right? So you guys already know what break-even means, what target profit means, what margin of safety means, because I do expect this from you guys that you guys have watched the previous video. So you guys already know all the concepts, right? And since you know all the concepts, you know all the formulas, you can have a good comparison of how the formulas are different or how they are same in single product versus multi-product. Okay. So if you have seen the previous video, you can easily do the comparison on your own. As far as I am concerned, I tried to explain to you the differences in the most easiest way possible. Now in the next video, we'll be discussing the multi-product graphs, the multi-product charts for break-even, for contribution, for profit volume, just like we discussed for the single product. Obviously, you could have the graphs for multi-product as well. So we're going to be discussing those in the next video, right? But for today, this is it. If you guys are benefiting from this video, then please make sure to subscribe the channel because that is the only way to support me. Subscribe the channel, like the video, and if you have any question, please comment in the comment section and I will reply to you as soon as possible. Thank you.